I've never done it before, but I had a big technical difficulty, and I wanted to share a video with you today. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to share it. It's World AIDS Day today, and I really want to give you a little sunshine, spread a little sunshine around what that's all about, what that means. And so I'll just get right into a little video that I wanted to share with you, and then we can talk a little bit more about it on the other side. I'm playing the practice underneath, which I'll get started back on tomorrow for sure. But I'm playing the practice underneath. And I also have equitashealth.com there for more information about World AIDS Day. Some really good stuff. So I'll go ahead and share this video with you today, and I hope you enjoy.
The number of people with AIDS in the U.S. will soon jump by 150,000.
How many friends have you lost to this disease?
20. Can you imagine what it must be like if you had lost 20 of your friends in the last 18 months?
And you don't know why?
No cause, no cure.
Keith, Dave, Wally, Steve, they're all gone. Every one of them. I'm Ruth Coker Burks. I'm 60 years old, and I'm known as the Cemetery Angel. Back in 1984, I was at the hospital and I was visiting a friend, and that was when I met Jimmy, my very first AIDS patient. I walked in his room. I don't know what made me do it. I'm pretty sure God asked me to do it. He was so frail, and you knew that he was near death, and he wanted his mother. I went out and I said to the nurses he would like to see his mother, and they laughed. They said, honey, his mama's not coming. Nobody's coming. And so I went back in his room and I took his hand, and he looked up at me and he said, oh, Mama, I knew you'd come. And I stayed in there for 13 hours while he died. I started calling funeral homes and they wouldn't take him. And I finally found a funeral home and they said, we'll take him, but we're not going to touch him and we'll only cremate him. And I buried him on top of my daddy's grave. After I buried him, I thought that was it. And they started coming, and they didn't stop for 10 years.
Thank you so much. So much, not just for Joe, but for everybody.
20 some odd years ago, my little brother Joe passed away. The culture was, you don't talk about it, it's very shameful. Ruth was the only resource.
With the LGBT crowd that I see, they are just desperate to hear these stories because there's not anyone to tell their history because they're all dead. And I'm kind of a living vessel that remembers the stories about what happened.
So good to see you.
Oh, look at you. Wonderful to see you. I'm so glad y'all came.
She is an angel among angels for what she has done for our fallen brethren.
She just took it on herself and understood that these men needed family, they needed care, and when their lives ended, they needed a place to rest.
I've always felt like I would take my men and carry them across the river and hand them over to all the people who loved them, who were there waiting for them. And then I'd turn around, I'd be back on dry land.
So that's what it was like. That's what it was like. It was bad. People were dying like crazy. And I'll tell you, folks stepped up and helped. But so many died. There's so much shame. There's so much lack of education around AIDS. And it was a tough time. And fortunately, a lot of people cared, and they came out with the meds. I have a friend who showed up to the opening of Out on Main back in 1996, and he was weeks away from dying, and the drugs came out right then, right that moment, saved his life, and he's still alive today, 25 years later. And that's what we can do. Anything, when we come together and we focus on something, and love prevails. And to this day, there's a lot of people that still are in need help, because the AIDS pandemic is still a pandemic. We have more tools to fight it, and the biggest tool of all, of course, is love. And we're finding that with the pandemic we're facing with Corona, the best antidote to that is love and care and empathy and science. And science. It works, right? So there's a great program tonight at 6 p.m. If you go to Equitas, if you go to equitashealth.org, or I'm sorry, .com, there is information about it. In fact, here, I'll show you right here. But great program tonight. A lot of folks we love, like Ron Murray, Dwayne Seward, Matt Wilmot, Brandon Chapman, and Shannon Harden's going to be a part of that as well, Mashika Roberts. So learn a little bit more about what's going on with AIDS today, and understand that, God, when we put our minds and hearts to something, we can do so much good. The fight continues. And thank you for joining me today, all right? We'll start the practice tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. This was my take 2 today. Broadcasting on my Facebook page, my 7 Minutes of Sunshine page, and YouTube. So join me there, and every weekday morning. And remember, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining. Take care. Bye-bye.